told you that your overthinking is not a focus problem, it's not a discipline problem, it's not even really a thinking problem? What if it is your identity doing exactly what it was designed to do, keeping you safe from the danger of being wrong? Because here's what I know after nearly 20 years of coaching. If stopping overthinking was as simple as just, stopping, we all would have done it already. So in this video, we are going to go underneath the overthinking to the survival strategy secretly running the loop. Because once you see it, the loop stops. Let's go. Here's what overthinking actually looks like in real life. You want to create something you want to say, a decision you need to make, and you think about it. You plan it. You might even make a list, and then you think about it some more. And the list gets longer. You refine it. The thinking gets louder. And somehow, nothing moves. And everyone around you says the same thing. Just stop overthinking it. Just go for it. Just do it. What's the big deal? You want to look at them and say, do you genuinely think I have not tried that? Because you have. I know you have. And it's not worked. And so you add that to the list of things you are wrong, that is wrong with you. I'm a procrastinator. I am too shy. I always say the wrong thing. I self-sabotage. I overthink everything. And I want you to stop right there. Because every single one of those is a label. It's not a personality trait. It's an identity. And identities are not fixed. They are created. And what was created can be changed. Here's the question I want you to ponder. What happens in your body when you imagine being wrong? Not just mildly incorrect, but genuinely, visibly, consequentially wrong. You said the thing and it landed badly. You took the action and it failed publicly. You made the choice and it cost you something real. For some people, that question produces mild discomfort, a little embarrassment, no big deal. For others, and I'm guessing that might be you and it used to be me, it produces something that feels much closer to danger. A tightening, a pulling back, nauseous to your stomach, can't breathe, you want to run away. Something that says, do not do that. It is not safe. Here's what I want you to understand about that feeling. It's not irrational. It's not you being dramatic or weak or too sensitive. It's your nervous system doing exactly what it was trained to do, protecting you from a threat it learned was real. Because somewhere along the way, you learned that being wrong had consequences. Maybe it was a relationship where getting it wrong meant someone got hurt or angry or pulled away. Maybe it was an environment where being wrong meant being dismissed or ridiculed or cut down. Maybe it was something as small and as random as one conversation on one ordinary day that went sideways in a way that nobody intended. And your system made a note. Being wrong is dangerous. So think longer, think harder, think more carefully, and maybe, just maybe, you'll get it right enough to be safe. That is not a bad habit. That is a survival strategy. And it made complete sense when it was built. But the problem is it is still running the situations, all of them, long after the environment that created it is gone. Here's where I want to go a little deeper with you. Because overthinking is not just a response to fear. It's a way of maintaining an identity. And the identity sounds like this. I am someone who thinks carefully before acting. I am someone who considers all the angles. I am someone who does not just blurt things out. I am thorough. I am cautious. I am responsible. And underneath all of that, quietly, lives the real belief. I am someone who gets it wrong. And because I get it wrong, I have to think longer, harder, more carefully than other people just to have a chance at getting it right. That identity is not protecting you from being wrong. It is guaranteeing that you stay in the loop. Because the overthinking is not solving the problem. The overthinking is the problem. Every time you go around the loop, you are reinforcing the belief that you need the loop. That without it, something dangerous will happen. And here's what that costs you. Not just time, not just energy, but the things you never said, the actions you never took, the version of your life that stayed in the planning stage because the identity decided that moving was more dangerous than staying still. That is what overthinking is actually protecting. Not you, but the identity. Now we get to do something about it. Here are 5 shifts, and these are not just tips for thinking less. They are tools for seeing the identity clearly enough to start stepping out of it. Shift number 5, name the identity. Before you can step out of the identity, you have to see it. You have to see where you're functioning from. And I mean really see it, not just as a personality trait, but as a creation. Something that was built in response to something real. So ask yourself this: what is the story I tell about myself when I overthink? Not the surface story, not I just want to get it right. The deeper one. Maybe it is, I always say the wrong thing, or I'm not good at reading situations, or I act too fast and I get people hurt, or I get hurt. Write it down, get specific, because that story is the identity, and you cannot release what you cannot see. And when you write it down, notice how long you have been carrying it. Notice how many decisions it has made for you without you realizing it was even in the room. See it, name it. Shift number 4, find when it was built. Once you can see the identity, get curious about where it came from. Not to blame, not to judge, not to relive, just to understand. Because the identity did not appear from nowhere. It was built in response to something, a moment, an environment. It's a pattern of experiences that taught your system being wrong has a cost. Ask yourself, when did I first learn that being wrong was dangerous? And here's what I want you to notice when you find it. How old was that version of you? What did she know? What was available to her or him at that time? Because the strategy they built made complete sense for the situation they were in. The question is just, is that the situation you are still in? In most cases, it's not. The environment has changed, the threat has passed, but the identity stayed. And knowing that is the beginning of being able to choose differently. Shift number 3, the identity lies. I want to tell you about a friend of mine. He came to me recently, and the first thing out of his mouth was, "See, I always say the wrong thing." And then he told me about something that had just happened. He had been joking around with a close friend of his, someone he knew well, someone he trusted, someone he had made this exact type of joke with before. And that day, she took it differently. She got off the phone quickly, and he was left in the mental loop of, crap, what did I do? What did I say? I should have been more aware. I should have not relaxed so much. I said the wrong thing. I hurt her. She is going to pull away. I'm going to lose the friendship. Around and around. And the identity, I always say the wrong thing, was running the show. So I asked him, if you didn't identify yourself as someone who always says the wrong thing, what action would you take? He thought about it for a moment and he said, I would probably just reach out to her and check in on her because she kind of seemed upset. So he did it. He took the action. He sent a simple text. I'm sorry. I did not mean anything by that joke. I hope you are okay. She came straight back. I'm sorry too. I did not sleep well. I was feeling sensitive. You did nothing wrong. He had been ready to quietly walk away from a friendship to protect an identity that was lying to him. The overthinking did not save him from being wrong, because in this case he wasn't. But the identity just convinced him that he was. Shift number 2. Wrong is not dangerous. Being wrong is not dangerous. I know that might seem too simple. Hear me out. Being wrong can be uncomfortable. It can be embarrassing. It can require a conversation or an apology or a do-over. But all of that is survivable. And in almost every case, the cost of being wrong is significantly lower than the cost of never acting, never saying the thing, never taking the step, never sending the text. Your friend who might have misunderstood you, they would rather hear from you than wonder why you went quiet. That idea you've been sitting on for 6 months or 6 years, the world would rather see it imperfect than never see it at all. And that conversation you've been rehearsing for weeks, it will never go exactly as planned, but it doesn't need to. Ask yourself, what have I not done, not said, not started because my identity decided being wrong about it was too dangerous? And then ask, what has that caution actually cost me? That answer is the real danger. Shift number 1, act from your core. Stop trying to stop overthinking. Start asking, who am I underneath the loop? Because the goal is to not think less. Thinking has its purpose. The goal is to come back to the core of you that was there before the fear got loud. The part of you that is naturally curious, naturally creative, naturally capable of acting, speaking, moving, without needing every angle covered first. That part of you does not overthink. Not because they are fearless, but because they do not need the loop to feel safe. They never did. So today, pick one thing, one small thing you have been overthinking, one text, one decision, one step, and ask yourself, what would the truest version of me do right now? Not the careful one, not the one managing everyone's reactions, but the real you. And then do it. Not perfectly, not with every angle covered, just do that. Because the loop does not end by thinking your way out of it. It ends when you come back to yourself. And my friend and his friend, they're still close, still joking around, still laughing about the same things they always have. Because he stepped out of the identity long enough to take one simple action. You are not an overthinker. You are someone who has learned that being wrong was dangerous. And that was a brilliant survival strategy for the situation that created it. But that situation, it's not this one. You are allowed to act. You are allowed to speak. You are allowed to get it wrong sometimes and handle it because you can. The loop ends when the identity does. And that starts today. If this video contributed something to you today, please pass it on. Someone in your life is stuck in the overthinking loop right now, and they need to hear it's not just a bad habit and it's not a character flaw. And if you want more of this, please like and subscribe. We are here multiple times a week going underneath the surface of things that keep brilliant people stuck. And you do not want to miss what's coming. And until we play again, keep creating a life that inspires you every single day to live it. I'll see you soon.